button blue. Sub if you new. Hey, what it do? Make the like button blue. Sub if you new.
Hello, salutations. What it do? What's Sadot the Gamer? All father, direct gang, know the vibes like scrub. Let's get it. Happy Friday, everyone. Congratulations on surviving until the end of the week and surviving an earthquake if you're on the East Coast like I am. Shout out to everybody. Appreciate y'all hanging out. We're back for a little more Suicide Squad. I'm going to be covering this for a couple of hours, and then I got to transition right to the podcast that I'm doing with Jay Shockblast. But in the meantime, we got a lot of stuff to go over. I'm streaming, of course, both on YouTube and Twitch, as usual, for the Suicide Squad game. Shout out to H4 for being the first in the Twitch chat, and I can, in fact, confirm to be in your walls. What's up, Isaiah, Arkham, Eastwood? Appreciate your old timer. X Clapper, what up? What up? KT, what up? What up? Welcome, welcome. We got some a lot of stuff happened with Suicide Squad today. We do in fact have the new Easter stuff. I didn't cover that yet.
I just don't want to wake up with freaking fingernails raining down on me like the world's nastiest storm.
But we're going to go over that. There was a lot of drama today in the Suicide Squad community. A lot of stuff went on earlier. Our friend of the channel, Tricks Ridiculous, got a little famous off of it. For those that missed it, there obviously, if you played the game, you know that there are tons of hackers. They're basically dominating the leaderboard. And one of the hackers,
hey, Joker,
who was currently #1 in the world, was not only using an unreleased Joker skin, they had Deathstroke on their squad. So Tricks Ridiculous was like, hey, look what's going on. These hackers are like out of control. Blood literally is using an unreleased character and an unreleased skin, and he's #1 on the leaderboard. So in response, WB gave him a DMCA strike on his Twitter account, which resulted in him temporarily getting locked. This became a big deal, and several articles have been written about it. So Tricks Ridiculous is kind of famous now. He's been quoted in IGN, Yahoo, and Kotaku for his part in this. It is definitely funny how terrible WB remains with their DMCA policies. But it is what it is. So they, in perfect timing, released a new update. They did their weekly blog, and they included some much needed changes, some not so much. So let's go over this a little bit, because there are some good changes that are coming. Obviously they could do more. There's a ton to do, but it is something. So they acknowledged a couple issues. People that aren't able to complete their Raising Hell playlists, even if they do all the objectives. They have something coming up for that. People who have been dealing with the Joker being invisible. I know a High Roller had similar issues like that. They're addressing that. People who had the black screen where they just get audio, they're addressing that. And they ignored the people who can't log in, like me, who have to go in through resume activity because they're stuck at the motion comic. But they showed love to the Steam Deck / Linux players, all 5 of them. And they said they're going to have something for them so that they can have a better experience. So I guess good for them. But there are some big balancing changes coming because a lot of people have complained about how terrible the Season 1 modifiers are. So they're scaling back some of the stuff. So previously, enemies on the new season were immune to craze. That's no longer be the case. instead of Venom immunity, they are rebranding it to Venom to a craze tolerance, so that instead of enemies being immune to the craze, instead they will just take 50% less damage. Damage reduction for pain suppression has been reduced to 50%, down 95%. Previously, that made it so that basically it was impossible to do damage to anything if you didn't do poison first. Now they've made it less impossible. The notable thing here is that they said they're going to buff poison and burn. Both of those work off of damage over time, which most of you know was nuked into the ground in response to burn being the best build by default in the the first few weeks of the game coming out. So we won't know if that's going to be any good until we actually test that, but possibly that could be huge or it could be nothing. The big thing though definitely is they're doubling the amount of battle pass XP you get for missions. That was a big issue among players. The battle pass doesn't expire, but you get so little XP that it would have taken an obnoxiously long time to finish it. So glad they acknowledged that. So once this update comes out, when you do missions, you'll get double the battle pass XP. They also are increasing the drop chance for master items as a reward for playing at higher mastery levels. So people who have been chasing master gear, if you've been playing those high mastery levels like me, you'll have a higher chance of getting them. And they're giving a little buff to the tier 3 scarecrow set. They're increasing the damage reduction that you get for the set bonus from 20% up from 10%. As I've been talking about the whole time, damage reduction is useless at higher mastery levels. They did a in-depth explanation about how it supposedly works in the game without acknowledging that it doesn't really work as intended, but at least they admitted that part of their intent was to force you to be a glass cannon. But unfortunately, that's what every build is, a glass cannon at higher mastery levels. But we'll see if anyone has any luck with this after the patch comes out and those changes are added. They gave an explanation of the difference between episode rank and mastery level, since most people were annoyed. This is basically in response to most people being very annoyed by how grindy the process to get the Joker was. If you didn't want to spend $10 or 1,000 Lex coin in order to unlock him, and wondering why there's so many different progression systems within the game. So they gave explanations on that, how to unlock the Joker. What they acknowledged what strongholds were. They didn't apologize for making people believe strongholds were something else, but they at least put it out there exactly what they are, so that going forward, don't be excited if they put strongholds in marketing materials, because they're nothing. And the big thing is, almost it seems like in response to the Tricks Ridiculous situation, they are finally addressing cheaters. Cheaters have basically been roaming the leaderboards the entire time. And in response to all the backlash, they have finally decided to go after the cheaters. They've reportedly temporarily banned several of the cheaters and reset their accounts. And if they continue to cheat, they will get a permaban. So all the people at the top of the leaderboards have been cheating, including the hackers who have been using skins early, and the one who got Deathstroke early. They are finally going to be punished going forward. So that's a W if you care about the leaderboards or anything like that. So glad they're at least finally doing something. Looking forward to when that patch goes live. We'll of course be testing all of that. You're saying in parent pickup line. Nope, patch isn't in the game yet, but it is what they're going to be adding later on. Of course, they also been rolling out new skins, like I previously reported. When Miller did some data mining, he found that they added in that last update some Easter stuff, and turns out that Easter stuff fortunately is free, so all you gotta do is go into the shop and purchase it for $0. Here we got African American king shark with sprinkles. We'll switch over to him, put that on. Of course, Easter is in the rearview mirror. They are a little late, but at least they got it. They previously released Boomer. There's Boomer's Easter fit, and I think so far Deadshot has the best one. That is the egg shot one. Exaggerating swagger of a teen shark. Definitely should change his name to We Was Kang's Shark. Based on how he looks right now.
Hey, let me know if you see my mug around anywhere, all right?
They're still they're going to be doing, they're basically releasing these every day, and then they're going to be having new skins every week in the marketplace. And I don't know who's next, but they are going to do one for all of them. So Joker and Harley all are getting the Easter treatment. Gets the ode. Let me get to New Earth. How do you get to switch Alpha and Suicide Squad? Exclamation mark drops if you don't know how, if you haven't connected your account already. But if you're already, since you're already watching on your Twitch side, all you have to do is follow the link and connect your WB account so that you can earn Twitch drops, and then just keep watching me on Twitch and you will unlock all of the Joker Twitch drops eventually. You get one drop every 30 minutes of watch time. All you have to do is leave the stream up and you'll be earning those rewards, even if it's not in your tab. They're making that daily login pretty much. Yeah, they about time that they started implementing something like that. Yeah, pretty much all the live service games have some kind of daily login. So for now, the daily login is going to be these Easter skins. But after that, that's it. And then they're going to have weekly marketplace stuff. But yeah, no other login bonus except for doing like the daily care package stuff. That's pretty much your daily bonus. It's not a login bonus, but it's a login and do stuff bonus. Kind of like how Helldivers will give you a personal order.
Not to brag, but this is so typical.
Is there FOMO for these skins? I don't believe they have FOMO for any skins or really anything for the most part, except for the Twitch drops. Every skin and swatch they've ever released in game is still in the store. The Twitch drops aren't in the store. That's probably why there's FOMO. But everything on the Battle Pass and in the store are supposed to just always be there.
To be frank, I didn't expect you to be so eager about suicide missions across the multiverse.
It's good that they're acknowledging at least some of the issues. There are just so many problems that they have to fix. Like, it's almost overwhelming at times, but yeah, Miller also just dropped that new leak about when the game is supposedly ending. I guess we'll talk about that on the podcast later. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's unfortunate that the game turned out this way. Hopefully Rocksteady's next DC project goes well. Balance changes indeed. They're changing the season. We just reviewed them. They're changing the season modifiers in response to a lot of backlash. And they're giving you more they're doubling the amount of XP you get on the battle pass for doing missions. They're allegedly buffing poison and burn. We'll see how that turns out. I need to see it for myself when the update goes live.
Well, it's no adult coloring book, but this activity might pass the time.
Did they ever fix the Joker challenge tree missing skill point? I've never heard of that. So definitely not. They didn't even mention it. A lot of issues they didn't mention, but yeah, I've literally just never heard of that.
Units, keep your distance from Joker. His aptitude for chaos is worrisome.
What's going on? Oh, I see what's going on. I'm like something's off. Did they do something on my build? Yeah, they changed my gear.
Find me tyrants or I fight myself.
Joker Penguin called. He wants his umbrella back. I hate when they do that. Why do they change my gear? Not the one. Here it is. Where's the egghead boss fight? You mean Brainiac? I guess he's got kind of an egghead.
Once more onto the Dimensional Breach, Task Force X. No need to dally with risk assessment.
Matchmaking still lagging. You're still doing matchmaking? That's crazy. The gear they start you off with sucks. Game is so much more fun once you start getting decent guns. I didn't even have that problem because I got the deluxe edition, which comes with the black mass weapons. And this was back when burn wasn't complete garbage. So I basically played through the game with like some of the best guns to start off with.
Ooh, we can stop looking, gang. I found trouble.
If you missed the previous Twitch drops, you are out of luck. So far, they have not put them back into rotation. I think that's the only stuff that has FOMO.
All surviving units, please.
If it's in the marketplace, you should be okay. But the Twitch drops, I think, pretty sure it's like a if you didn't get them, you're out of luck. So make sure when the Twitch drop campaign is going on, you take advantage of it. Pretty straightforward. Just make sure your account is connected. And then all you have to do is watch someone on Twitch streaming Suicide Squad, like me. Exclamation mark drops if you don't know if your account is connected.
Honestly, it's in the name.
Joker and the Mary Poppins art.
Joker's making
It's funny, Joker.
Units.
It's not like Joker hasn't used an umbrella. It's partially his thing. It's just that Penguin also became famous for it.
Their Prometheum shields down. Incoming forces. Deal with those Earthlings.
Who remembers Arkham Asylum? Pretty sure most people remember Arkham Asylum. It doesn't get brought up as much. Usually when people are talking about how they miss Rocksteady, they'll bring up Arkham Knight.
Guess everyone's got to hit the target.
Which is funny because a lot of Arkham fans hated Arkham Knight and reminded and told everyone about it when it first came out. But then years later, started talking about how amazing it was. So we're almost got the Joker Battle Pass stuff.
Engaging Brainiac in multiple dimensions is a fine strategy, Task Force.
Stealing the Penguin stuff is something Joker would do. That is true. Joker loves stealing. Joker never used an umbrella in cartoons or the Arkham games.
Like they could outmaneuver that.
Yeah, comics, indeed. Yeah. It is indeed a well-known thing in the comics. Joker has a lot of stuff that he uses. Obviously, he's a big fan of bombs and guns, but he has, in fact, used Umbrella in comics, which is what all of these games are based on.
Get in, get out, go home. Good?
What's the best way to level up? There's like 10 different leveling systems in this game, so you got to be specific. My talent tree is mostly the same. If you make sure you definitely check out my build video on the Joker, !build. I dropped that over on the YouTube side. Only thing I changed was my squad talents. I just switched them up a little bit.
Well, well, well. If it isn't an opportunity for mayhem.
So the various So the season rank, your fear rank, that's how you get to that's how you unlock the Joker and the Brainiac boss fight if you don't want to pay money. Fastest way to get through that is doing killing time. Make sure you get up to at least mastery 25.
Launching explosive device.
Reloading already?
If you're just trying to increase your characters so you can unlock more, basically unlock more skill points, that requires XP, normal XP.
Following dead shots, bullets to the target.
No real secret to that. Make sure that most of this should have been done last season, but if you didn't, make sure that you've played the game, you beat it, you beat the campaign, and you've unlocked the difficulty. You want to be at invasion level 5 difficulty, because that gives you a big multiplier when it comes to resources and XP. And then from there, just play missions. The missions, the Metropolis missions will literally tell you how much XP that you're getting. So you can pick and choose the ones that reward you the most XP. I mainly do Incursion missions. The higher your mastery level, the more XP, the more resources you get. So I just do that. I don't really do Metropolis missions that much. And make sure that you take the time to get all your characters to level 30, because that'll give you more progress on your squad skill tree.
I'm on a killing spree.
You can also further boost your XP on the squad skill tree by putting points into XP gains. If you want to super maximize that.
Units, keep your distance from
Yeah, I
Joker.
saw. Yeah, part of the leaks was that one of the hackers showed off the two-face gear.
I'm roughing up Boomerang's target.
So how good that is going to depend on, I think, how good the balancing changes are done to burn are. Which makes it weird that they would nerf burn that badly to begin with. Knowing that they were going to be basically going all in on it for the upcoming seasons is weird. I kind of don't understand it. Why go that hard on burn when you knew that you were going to make burn a big part of the Joker's character kit,
When it comes to Joker action,
and damage over time we're going to be a big part of season 1. That was just such a weird choice.
Very well, Joker. Fear my shadow. Shoot you down.
filling her up.
He makes the shot from hang time.
Only 17 left.
A new target, Boomerang? Don't mind if I do.
We're going to see an OP Boomer build this season. I mean, the problem which I've been outlining is that there's no build diversity this season. Like, they basically made it so that every build has to basically be the same. Like, it's literally just all about poison. Now, based on the balancing changes coming, depending on what it is, we'll see if Burn can make a comeback. But every OP build this season looks exactly the same. If you want to call it that. Like, I could literally just put the build I'm using right now on Joker and move it over and move it over to Boomerang. It's either run the tier 2, run the tier 3, or basically run a bunch of notorious weapons with the tier 1, with one version, one copy of a tier 1 piece. It's really not much build diversity in the new season. Get the King Shark outfit. As you see, here is my current lineup of Easter themed outfits. Happy Easter, everyone.
An incursion to this earth at this level of corruption. True, this other earth is a hostile hell world, but not without its reward.
Joker look like Tekashi 6ix9ine. I don't think he looks that corny. He mostly looks like Jared Leto's Joker. Just a little less emo.
Whoa, how low can I go?
Whee. You need any help? You're on Xbox. I definitely don't need any help, but if there's anyone who needs help leveling up or just wants to play some incursions to get their mastery ranking up, I'm Sadot the Gamer on WB. Add me. Gotta have a limit though, because multiplayer is kind of cooked right now, so can't have more than 3 people.
Feeling very down, actually. Great for 10.
The more people you add to multiplayer, the more sketchy it gets. Hopefully you get Freeze. Yeah, I know Mrs. Freeze is coming. I just haven't seen her character model, so I don't know what she looks like.
You brought your own safety from home. Adorable. Let's see how long
Away from the sprouts, quick!
Now your head is in the game, Joker. If only you were running towards the right goal.
It's not bloodlust, it's blood love. No place to hide. Rage don't mean a thing.
My damage definitely feels like it was nerfed a little bit. definitely noticeable.
I do my own air support.
You might be able to save these plants, Task Force X, but they will not save you.
Hey, leave those sprouts alone before I plant my foot up your keisters.
Joker has the craziest voice lines.
New target selected.
There's so many. The amount of leaks are crazy.
Bombs away. Shield depleted. And this target is just right, Boomerang.
You saved them! Oh, I could hunt you to death with knives!
There we go. If you're on the leaderboard right now and you're clearly cheating,
Reprioritizing targets.
it's about to get bad for you. WB ain't playing no more after this whole Tricks Ridiculous thing blew up.
This target, Boomerang.
They're going after all the cheaters.
One affliction burst. All sides lonesome. Tell me what about?
I'm with Tricks. WB gave Tricks a DMCA strike on his Twitch account, on his Twitter account,
And on the way out,
because he posted a screenshot of the in-game leaderboard that showed that the #1 player in the world was a cheater who was not only using an unreleased Joker skin that he hacked,
take lesson units.
but he also had Deathstroke on his squad.
Meditate, pals. That's what Lex put him here for.
So instead of just banning him, they put Tricks a DMCA strike, which became a huge story.
What to do with these two affliction
Resulted in Miller dropping a huge leak out of spite, exposing that the game is shutting down. It's a whole thing. But they put in their blog, which they definitely added today, in response to the backlash, that they're finally going to be banning people that are cheating.
Joker, I
Like a
promise I
damn missile.
won't change your game. Integration will simply lend method to your madness.
Absolutely crazy it took that long.
Boomerang, where did you find this target? I can dodge this.
He hacked the entire character. Yeah, not only did he hack the character and the skins, but he hacked his damage. Like I think his weapon damage was like 20 million or something. It was just nuts. And they weren't even hiding it. They're literally just on the, because you can't even hide it. You're just literally just on the top of the leaderboard. Yep.
You protected the plant bee, but it's
My totally legit build.
all dead.
It's like, bro, what are we doing here? Now they weren't doing the obvious stuff like that, like having unreleased skins, but they were clearly cheaters at the top of the leaderboard the whole time.
You're more adept at defense than your psychologist suggested, Task Force X. I'll adjust the numbers.
Unhand those sprouts, you monsters.
At least they're finally addressing it. But waiting for it to become a whole controversy is like, just shows the problems. Like, you got to be on top of this stuff.
I guess.
You got to be aware of optics.
I'll shoot anyone. I'm gifted. They're stopping the sprouts. Let's rattle them.
I will crush upon them.
Optics are so important, and
My little ones just
too
need
often they're
adventuring.
just behind. Like as soon as people, like as soon as the cheaters started popping up and people started saying, "Hey, there are a bunch of cheaters on the leaderboard," they should have taken steps to address it instead of just leaving it as is. But then to DMCA someone for just pointing it out, that's just crazy. If whatever is driving this policy, this DMCA policy,
Insurgents broken through.
they definitely need to address it. I think the CEO definitely needs to address it because it's doing them more harm than good.
Unhand those sprouts, you monsters.
Like WB loses out on a lot of goodwill because of stuff like this,
Deep breath.
and it adds up.
Eco warp.
Goodwill can take you a long way, especially when you make a mistake or you're struggling.
Target the interlopers. The bear friends you tired of using her plants for your ends. She'll use them for her own.
That's a long way to the exit. Holy.
Deploying reinforcements.
They have replenished their ranks.
When's the game turning down? According to Miller, they're pulling the plug in 2025. Is the game still freezing? Probably. I don't know. A lot of people have different problems. I still can't get past the opening title screen where they show the motion comic because that's still bugged.
Enjoying that moment, huh?
I'm assuming everyone else still has a black screen still has that because that was in the notes. That's something they're going to fix eventually.
Let's see if we
This is
can
my favorite
figure
character
out
to
how
play.
get
I've
what
been
the
a
rest of
Captain
us do.
Boomerang main since the closed alpha. He's been the most fun. Was that around the same time? Oh no. So if Suicide Squad shuts down in 2025, like Miller is suggesting in his new update, Suicide Squad will have lasted significantly less time than Avengers did, but will have completed their story. Because the issue with Avengers is that they lasted about 3 years, but they didn't get to finish their story.
I'm only the super skilled curator, friend. The decisions here are yours.
Whereas if Suicide Squad makes it to when Miller says, they will have at least completed their post-launch narrative. It just wouldn't have, lasted as long. What's up, Phoenix? No Kree Invasion was wild. Yeah, no Kree Invasion, no Captain Marvel, no She-Hulk. Yeah, because the issue with Avengers is that they had all their post-launch content, but they didn't have most of it finished. They had the plan, they didn't have most of it finished, and a bunch of stuff got delayed. They had to significantly direct their limited resources to the Spider-Man thing. The Spider-Man thing was a lot worse than people realize. Because not only did the Spider-Man situation cost them sales because of it being PlayStation exclusive, but since they didn't plan on putting him in the game originally, they basically had to rush to get him out because, you know, once it was made an exclusive, they were like, oh, well, we made this deal with Sony, so now it has to come out no matter what. So then instead of prioritizing, you know, their other updates or, you know, fixes, they had to always have a certain amount of their increasingly limited dev team dedicated to getting out this Spider-Man update in a relatively reasonable time frame. It was truly a disastrous decision. And just, I feel like most likely if they had never done the deal for Spider-Man, we probably would have gotten the Kree invasion. Game would have still shut down in all likelihood. But it would have probably shut down with the Kree invasion. Because they wouldn't have had to waste all those resources trying to get Spider-Man ready. And would have instead been able to focus on the rest of their regularly scheduled content. And, you know, different fixes and everything like that. Then Spider-Man Avengers used some reused animations around PS4 as well. Not many that I recall. I know they definitely had some familiar animations, but that was the same for every character. Like people even did compilations showing that different Avenger characters had moves taken directly from the MCU. Yeah, they use some assets from Sony to put together the Spider-Man update, for sure. Web serving Avengers also looking. Yep, that's what happens when your game that's not designed for Spider-Man, that doesn't plan to have Spider-Man, is forced at the last minute to add Spider-Man. Like that I don't blame them for, because there's literally nothing they could have done. Yeah, offline mode, they have not mentioned. Obviously, communication in general has been bad, but yeah, I haven't heard about the offline mode since they announced that they were doing it. But yeah, they for sure have to make sure that the only thing they said about offline was that they're adding it sometime this year. Is Joker a strong character? Everyone's a strong character.
This is the exciting multiversal tour I signed up for.
It's just a matter of you getting the right gear. That's there's really not that much distinction. The biggest distinction between the characters is in their traversal. You can literally just, as long as you have good gear, you can literally just put the gear on any of the characters and have pretty much the same results. There's not really a thing like that in this game. You can be good with any character that you want to be good with. It's literally just all down to preference. It's not like when you have to pick a character and be like, oh, I gotta weigh their strengths and weaknesses. It's like, not really, no. It doesn't matter. Just have good gear and weapons and you're fine.
Boomerang,
It doesn't
where
matter.
did you find this target? Skill shot.
These flailing antics of yours, Joker, will be less tiresome when I put them to my use.
Pop the...
Oh, I've hooked Shark's target.
Love the polka dot grenade.
That's all for you.
Hit him with the special charge shot.
Joker, mate, say the target and I'm there.
Any more
Still can't get the full auto sack deck to drop.
Joker's propensity for violence.
Now this is rocket science.
Yeah, that's gonna come down. A lot of that just gonna come down to luck.
Would I kill you to congratulate me?
I wasn't even looking for it. I had a good stack deck shotgun with Boomer. Then one day, I just randomly got the auto one. I was like, finally. That's usually, to me, that's usually how stuff works. You'll like spend a lot of time looking for something. You won't get it, and then as soon as you like stop stressing about it, it just drops right into you. So maybe just take a step back, tell yourself that you're not going to worry about it. Maybe even look for something else, and then before you know it, you'll find it.
You did well. So did I. Of course.
I've got an altitude problem.
Come on then, you alien pricks.
This isn't a victory, Task Force X. It's delaying the inevitable. And you know as well as I, it is inevitable.
But I recommend getting the sale for $42. That seems a little steep. You're getting around the same price. You're getting right around the price point. The problem is that $40 for the game is perfectly fair, especially deluxe edition.
Just the prop I've been
My problem with recommending the game is that
I ain't raising my expectations yet.
I can't reasonably be confident that, hey, I just beat Lejeune. Haha. Take that, Lejeune. I can't be reasonably confident that if I recommend you buy this game, that you'll be able to play it, which is a problem. Like if I could tell you, hey, go get Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Go get Dragon's Dogma 2. Even Helldivers 2. And I can be confident that you'll be able to play it and you'll have a great time. But because of the different bugs with Suicide Squad, like I can't guarantee that. or be that confident. Because if you have, because for instance, if you have the bug that I have, and a lot of other people have that they didn't even acknowledge yet, you won't be able to play the game. Because the only reason I can play the game is that I've played it before, so I can resume activity. And it'll drop me right into the city from where I left off. But if you're brand new, I'm not sure if that's going to work because you have no activity to resume. So the only other way, if uninstalling and reinstalling doesn't work, is to have a friend invite you to the game. But that's not a viable, method. You don't want to have to rely on someone every time you want to play. No release date on the update, but I would assume it's going to be next week. Hopefully.
What's this?
How do you get your mastery level? Mastery is unlocked. I'm glad they actually put that tutorial in the blog today. For people that didn't do this last season, in order to unlock mastery levels, first you have to. Usually, you just have to play. For the last siege, all you have to do is just beat the game, and then just play the in-game content. Beat Brainiac. You're in the end game. Got the mastery stuff.
Your vicious talents are wasted fighting for this world.
This time, there's a little more to it. Like, in order to get to mastery, you have to get to season rank 35. And the fastest way to do that is to do killing time and get to at least mastery 25. That speeds it up the fastest in my experience. Then when you hit rank 35, you'll be able to fight Brainiac in the new season in the Green Lantern fight. Then if you beat him, that officially unlocks the Joker, and it unlocks mastery levels. So now you'll be able to
Your brutality,
start climbing the mastery ranks. From there, it's the exact same process as last season. You complete an incursion mission at the highest available mastery level, and then you do at least 2 other different incursions at the highest mastery level, and then it averages up and increases your rank accordingly. So as long as you are completing these incursion missions at the highest available mastery level, you'll keep climbing. But you have to make sure that you're doing it on 3 different missions. You can't just do the same incursion mission and increase your mastery level. You have to do at least 3 different ones, which is pretty much what I've been doing this whole time. I found 3 ones that I found to be the most efficient for me when it comes to farming, which is Laugh Riot, Imposter Syndrome, and surprisingly the Poison Ivy one.
Oh, and you're all still alive. That's good too.
That one isn't bad this season. And then I just rotate through those 3
neutralize the Earthlings. There are 4 of them
to grow my mastery.
Keep running. Any damage you've done, I can repair. Anything you've taken.
What is the Joker build? Glad you asked. Type ! build in the chat. I posted my full build video and explanation so that you can go out there and get your joke on. I like the changes. I like some of the changes in theory that they're going to add in the next patch. But season 1 overall was very disappointing.
Is the previous owner dead?
Nope, I think the patch is going to go live next week. Usually patches go up on Tuesdays.
Purple and green. I'll take it.
I don't know how long all of this is going to take them. A lot of the stuff they mentioned, I would expect the patch next week because a lot of the stuff they mentioned isn't going to take that long at all. So I would expect the patch next week. I don't know how long it's going to take them to fix some of the bug stuff, but the balancing changes, they've shown that they can do that like anytime. Like that's a separate thing from the bug fixes. So all the balancing changes, the changes to Battle Pass XP, they can crank that out next week, like no problem.
An incursion to this earth at this level of corruption. It's certainly a bold strategy.
The DLC suck. Joker is fun. Season 1 was not. Like it's got some good weapons and gear, but the content offering was very disappointing. And the balance and the season modifiers for the Incursion missions were terrible. Yeah, overall, season 1 did not go well. I don't have much hope for episode 2, but I hope season 2 goes better. Even though it's not going to have as big a name of character as the Joker. And will probably be similarly made fun of.
I made ostensibly better decisions that have landed me in worse places.
It's only that you have that 2 support squad missions cannot be done. I'm pretty sure it's a standard thing that once you complete all the support squad missions in the main campaign, you can't do them again. I think they did that as part of their goal to limit the amount of farming people could do, specifically for XP. Yeah, support squads, that's been like a thing.
Deadshot is the current target.
Pop off that infinite ammo.
Hanging up a judge's target here. Got the trouble. I'm doing it all for the laugh, pal.
Dude, I got a suicide strike off.
You're just full of cheap tricks.
What are the glowing things at his feet? It's fire. Because that's how exclusive his sneakers are.
It's compelling the way they pop like party favors.
Joker's shoe game is so elite, it leaves a trail of fire everywhere he goes.
I accept Joker's target selection.
Well, episodes will be 6 weeks apart. Ideally, yeah. It's definitely possible that obviously stuff might get pushed around.
Laughing and crying.
But regardless, yeah, episode 2,
This target Deadshot? A team up? Oh,
we won't be seeing that until sometime in May. Best case scenario.
all bust out.
And it's every 6 weeks. It's a good idea, but
Not to brag, but this is typical.
future seasons, I definitely hope there's more. Especially after especially after seeing all the leaks, I'm like,
Shoot you down.
where is the story content? Because I know they have it. That's why the Joker thing was so confusing, because it's like,
Units, take him off the board.
wait, I know they have content planned.
Power. I will save those doors as my own Denali.
I know there's story stuff planned. Like, where is it?
From downtown. Rains don't mean a thing. Picking up a judge's target here.
This is Frieza story. Don't speak that into existence, because you know that's definitely funny enough to happen.
I'm gifted. Yeah. Tip those.
I'm just hoping their approach to the season modifiers aren't the same. Like, I know they're gonna, like, I know they're obviously going to give a big buff and emphasis on the freeze affliction when she comes out.
Who's telling them about what we did to the last guy?
So make sure you have a full set of the penguin gear,
Surely you've earned
just in
some
case.
praise.
You can never stop at one wave, can you?
But I just hope the gear is actually good and they don't just put ridiculous modifiers on. All right, Toby, appreciate you. I think we'll see a movie skin. I don't think we're going to see any movie skins for anybody. If we are, it's definitely not in their plans for the next several months. Like I've talked to Miller. He's revealed a lot of stuff. He's seen and heard a lot.
New toy, regrettable tattoo,
And so far, I have not
new
heard
toy.
any reference to movie skins of any kind, which is insane.
Considering your judo chemistry, I don't promise this will end well, Joker. But let's have some fun.
Icicle gameplay going to go crazy. I heard the traversal was going to go crazy. That's probably what I'm most excited about. That Frozone traversal. Because Joker's traversal is really fun. I just hope there's actual story content this time. But yeah, I'm definitely very surprised that they haven't done any movie skins, especially for Harley. Like that is weird. Because Suicide Squad, you know, these aren't exactly huge name characters to begin with. And it's not like the situation Marvel's Avengers had to deal with, where they had to, you know, go through Marvel because it was a licensed game. So they had all this bureaucracy to sort through. WB owns DC; they own the movies. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't be having the movies tie in. Like, especially with you're starting off the Joker. Like, if I was in charge, First of all, as soon as the game launched, if I'm in charge, as soon as the game launched, I'm launching with the Harley Quinn movie skin in the shop. Like, there's no way that's not happening. The Margot Robbie Harley Quinn fit is in the shop on day one of the game being available for sale in early access. Like, it's immediately in the shop. Like, and then for the Joker, I'm having multiple. I'm doing multiple movie fits. I'm doing the Heath Ledger. I'm doing the Jared Leto. I'm doing the Jack Nicholson. Like, I'm having all as many times as possible. I'm doing I'm doing a Batman animated series style Joker skin. I'm doing all of them to get people to come into that shop and spend some money. I'm definitely doing the Batman Who Laughs. Like, I don't understand this marketplace strategy. Put the best. You're relying on skins for the most part for your sales. Put the best skins in the market. Put the best skins in the shop. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on.
Kudos to me.
What's up, Captain? What's up, Mikey? Will Smith in game. I will not even, obviously can't do the Will Smith likeness, but I can do the Will Smith Deadshot suit. I could do animated series Harley Quinn. I can do the Arkham Harley Quinn outfits. Like, I would have all of that in the marketplace.
Focus your attention and your fire and take them down as a unit.
Like, the game itself might still have problems, but if I'm in charge, the problems would not be marketplace related. I would give people every reason to spend money in the store. Joker 2 movie. Yeah, the Joker 1 movie. Definitely have the Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
You cannot let the clown massacre you like this. Take him down. Your killing sprees
Like, it took Marvel's Avengers about almost a year to start putting popular comic skins and MCU skins into the marketplace. I don't understand why Suicide Squad doesn't have any yet. They have so much. They have so many skins they could draw from. Animated movies, animated shows. They have so much. I legitimately don't understand the strategy. Yeah, like that's why it's so funny when they call this people call this game a cash grab. Like, how? This game is specifically optimized not to make a lot of cash.
It's a talent.
I don't understand how it's a cash grab. It is in no way designed to make cash. They did with Arkham Knight. Yeah, Arkham Knight is a almost 9-year-old game
us all before.
Honestly, it's in the name.
And even that has gotten a movie skin recently. They just added the Robert Pattinson Batman for free. I think they just added that as part of the Arkham collection coming to Switch, so they wanted to do a little something for the players.
Airstrike.
Absolutely no reason we don't have. I can't think of that we don't have any movie skins for Suicide Squad in the game yet. It's nuts.
I'm the eye in the sky.
Same with Gotham Knight. Gotham Knights I can understand because Gotham Knights wasn't a live service game.
Worked on my end.
And you know, it was based around the lesser known, you know, characters, you know, Batgirl, Red. So it was very much comic
No plans.
focus, which is why they had a lot of comic inspired stuff.
I catch air.
And it didn't have an in-game store. But this is a live service game that needs to sell cosmetics and has characters that were prominently featured in very well-known movies and shows on top of the comics. Like a Suicide Squad game doesn't even make sense, really, without the movies existing. And even then, it didn't make that much sense. But at least you could justify it because, like, okay, well, at least people seen the movie, so they at least know about, you know, Harley Quinn. This is weird.
I'm impressed. When this is over, we should formalize our working arrangement.
Can't fly, but I can light a light bulb.
Under no circumstances shall the Earthlings escape. Hunt them down.
Barbie skin, Harley skin for Jonkler. I like how the CV Two-Face Melee don't have a perk, and the other one just don't drop. Yeah, the Melee Two-Face piece, the Two-Face Persuader from last season has been bugged forever.
Oh,
I don't think they're ever going to fix that one.
Back on the gimmicks.
So you finally shaped up. Big props.
I've been complaining about that Two-Face Persuader perk since last season. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. After show podcast in less than 2 hours. Wait for me, J Shock Blast. Yeah. It's not a big deal. Like I literally start the show prep usually like 30 minutes before we go live. So to be fair, by then I already have an idea of what we're going to talk about. So then all I have to do is make the thumbnail and everything, set that up, set up the stream. So as long as I'm out of here by 7:30, we'll be able to do the after show on time. Get a turbo mod for every new character. I don't even work. I have the turbo mod for everyone. It's not that hard, but I don't use it anymore since the nerf.
Another day, another Earth.
I think I might have a mastered version for every character. I just never use it. The defensive one. Still Force is still good. The Turtle Still Force is definitely still worth picking up. But the defensive version, yeah, I don't bother with it.
I'd say I'll retain your ashes for posterity, but who can tell?
Hey, leave those sprouts alone.
All right,
before
stop
I
time.
put up your keisters.
Drop bombs.
A new target, Boomerang? Don't mind if I do.
Targeting shark. Good. Now make sure the others don't come over. Maybe annihilate. The bad guys are hassling a little helper again. I guess they want to die.
The damage definitely feels nerfed.
Clearing that rooftop isn't enough. There's still icky soldiers around.
Joker, your vicious talents are wasted fighting for this world. Are your actions calculated?
You're more adept at defense than your psychologist
That's
suggested, Task Force X. I'll adjust the numbers.
I'm playing around with the talent tree some more.
Let's rattle them. Yeah, check those.
Okay, so that rooftop is clear. Go get the bad guys around you.
All right, next rooftop.
Targeting my crosshairs. This target, Boomerang? You rascal. Oh yeah, line up just like that.
See y'all hiding over here.
He makes the shot from hang time.
Joker's melee is so bad. Holy. He might have the worst melee attack in the whole game.
That's right. I razzle.
Launching explosive device.
I'm glad his traversal is so good and lets him get air. Because he is a terrible melee character.
Toxic to Kaluan physiology.
We still have an infliction burst. You know, if you want to test it out.
Yeah, we're slowly ranking up that season. On the new one, Mastery 123. The highest we got last season was 144. Before I got bored and stopped.
Boomerang, where did you find this target?
See if we'll eventually get the 200. I might go for 200 on the new season. We'll see. kind of nice still having something, relatively speaking, to grind for. But yeah, I feel like the push to mastery 200 on the Joker season is more tolerable, especially if the balance changes hit and do what they're supposed to do to make it a little less annoying. And the buff burn and poison damage. It would be funny if they ended up putting burn back to what it was before the nerf. But at higher mastery levels, it just melts everything. I need more grenades. There's so many enemies. Holy, I can't even. So many particle explosions. There we go.
You can do it, Daphne. Then we go home and have some nice organic coffee grounds. Maybe
We gotta protect the little sproutlings, pals.
now spread your bounty on the wind. And neurotoxins too.
The last one.
Directing all reinforcements of the Earthling.
The Ivies were so annoying last season.
Die here or at home. It makes little difference to me.
It's much more doable, much less irritating. I think it's because it's in a more closed-off space.
When she tires of using her plants for your ends, she'll use them for her own. Something to consider.
I'll be right down.
Balance patch is not live yet. I'm expecting it to go live next week though. Don't know why, but you're not ranking up anymore. You're talking about mastery level. You have to do You have to do at least 3 different missions that are incursions. You can't do the same 1 or 2. You have to do 3 different incursion missions at the highest mastery level available. That's not you having a weird glitch where your teammates wouldn't come and res me when you died. Oh, I mean the AI teammates? Yeah, that happens sometimes. Damn, I keep passing Lejeune. keep sending taunts to Lejeune. He playing Call of Duty right now. Shout out to Lejeune. That was 123. So now you want to... Yep, so now the highest rank I did 122, 123, 123. So if I do Imposter Syndrome at 123, I'll get a mastery rank increase.
Meant to be a warning shot.
How's playing a hero's feel? Maybe you ought to get used to it. You did a good thing. Do a lot more and you might...
So I know the Joker might be coming back in the movies. I mean, we've all known that was a possibility. I mean, there's literally a Joker movie coming out, the Joker 2. But the DCU, you know, hasn't even started yet. So there's obviously a possibility that we could see the Joker in one of the future James Gunn projects. We don't even know who's going to be in, villain-wise, who's going to be in Batman Brave and the Bold. The Matt Reeves Batman teased the Joker. So yeah, I'm sure we'll see the Joker in the DCU at some point.
Let's do this with finesse.
Besides the obvious Joker sequel that is coming out. But I think they're going to take a little break from the Joker. There's been a lot of Joker, I feel like James Gunn is not going to want to start the DCU with more Joker.
Your next pickup just got heavier. Don't start slacking.
Like, you already got a Joker movie coming out.
Well, it's no adult coloring book, but this activity might pass the time.
Feel like you do the Brave and the Bold and you start with a different Batman villain.
Focus your attention and your
Build up to the Joker.
Take them down as a unit.
Get a wager.
Joker should be special. You got to find the right person to play him.
Facility raid, and me with my umbrella.
My pick is Cameron from the Star Wars Jedi series and Shameless for the new live-action Joker. I think he's great. I think he's a great Joker.
Units, keep your distance from Joker. His aptitude for chaos is worrisome.
I'm roughing up Boomerang's target. Honestly, it's in the name.
See if I can hit him with the charge shot. I feel like the alt fire mode never is worth it.
I'm gifted.
Holy particle effects. This is definitely I think they were the fastest to farm, because you can just get them all in one place and then just drop bombs on them.
It seems my local forces are depleted. Sending more. Ensure the Earthlings don't reach their portal. Excessive force is preferred.
Beginning our descent. Eyes up. We got more company.
You bought Suicide Squad because of Justice League. Is it a good game, or do you made a mistake? I mean, it's too late for that. You're in now. Probably should have asked those questions earlier. I mean, if you already have it, you can answer. You'll be able to answer that yourself. Can you log into the game? If you can log into the game,
I can reinvent myself as an artist.
you'll probably be okay.
All right. Not bad.
As much as we criticize the game, the reality is that aside from the bugs, most of the people who bought the game have given it positive reviews. I mean, it launched with a 80% positive on 80+% positive on PlayStation, Steam, and Xbox, and all those platforms, and all the actual platforms of confirmed purchases. They all gave it high ratings relatively. The Steam rating only went down when all those crazy bugs start hitting. And it's still like high 70s. So for whatever reason, most of the people who play it, if they aren't, you know, held back by a bunch of technical problems, walk away satisfied with the game for what it is. It's just, you know, there's just obviously a lot of technical problems you have to potentially sort through. It's obviously not going to be for everybody, and they definitely left a lot on the table. But at its core, it is a fun game when it works. And I think that's why most people ended up enjoying it, especially if you're already a fan of looter shooters to begin with. There's definitely a lot to appreciate there if this is already your genre of game. I feel like if you are someone who just buys a game without checking like reviews or anything, you probably did make a mistake, because it probably doesn't matter that much to you in the long run. Like, I know there are people who are a lot more, you know, conscious with the purchases that they make, because they don't buy a lot of games every year. So they're usually pretty cautious when it comes to their purchases. But if you just buy games just on, you know, just on a whim, like you're not someone who worries about stuff like that, then yeah, the game, you might not like the game, and you know, who cares? You'll just move on to another one. I saw all the leaks. Got a master acupuncture. Let's save that. New skins. Yep. We got African American Shark. We got Bunny Girl Boomerang. And we got Egg Shot.
Special statistics.
And of course, the new skins that the hackers got access to early, but we're not showing those. They're not out yet.
Once more onto the Dimensional Breach Task Force X. No need to dally with risk.
Does Deathstroke look cool? He looks like Deathstroke. They used a stand-in photo. It's not the official character model. They used a stand-in photo from the Arkham Deadshot, from the Arkham Deathstroke. It looks, but it's going to look like Deathstroke. What's my Joker build? Exclamation mark build. Got you covered with a full build video. The best endgame giggler build. So we're up to Mastery 125. Yeah, you should be able to see them in the store. Just look around. They should have them right there, and then all you have to do is buy them. But it will say, you know, 0 Lex coin. I think you're right though. You're on Xbox Series X. Haven't had any problems at all. Happy with the game. Still play it. Yeah, like if it wasn't for the bugs, I'd have issues with the game. But ultimately, it's still fun. No, there's a lot I would change. But for what it is, yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's fun. There are definitely people who just don't like this genre of game, and that's definitely fine. Like there's a lot, because there's, you know, Rocksteady's known for their Arkham games, and if you're a fan of Rocksteady, you probably have never. There's a good chance you've never played a looter shooter before. Out of all of them that did play a looter shooter before, most of them probably played Marvel's Avengers, which is a, you know, terrible example of a looter shooter. But if you played The Division, if you played Destiny, and enjoyed those games, you'll probably get a kick out of this for sure. Assuming you're not, you know, hit with any bugs. I think the game, nope. Yeah, Miller, if Miller declares it, it's over. Miller already dropped the leak of when the game is ending.
Is this performance truly worthy of my attention?
Just like he did with Marvel's Avengers.
You can have it for now.
So once Miller says it, it's a wrap. Only way this changes is if the game unexpectedly becomes extremely popular before we get to that point.
Who are you trying to impress with this butchery, Joker? Nobody.
Which I honestly don't anticipate happening. Maybe season 4. If we get to season 4, all the stuff they have planned is good, potentially good enough on paper to get a lot of people interested in the game, depending on the execution. So maybe if season 4 comes out, and it's a big success, WB might be like, oh, okay. Otherwise, yeah, game might be cooked.
Taking your target seriously, Joker.
Weird. Worked on my end.
It's a talent.
The game being shut down means that it's shut down, it's over. No more updates. Rocksteady will have completely moved on. Now, hopefully, before they, you know, get to that point, they add that offline mode so that no matter what, you'll still be able to play the game. Even, you know, regardless of what's going on with the servers. That's my main concern. Obviously, I hope that the game is able to turn it around, but Yeah, like I said, unless we get like a shocking turnaround, which based on what they have planned, doesn't look like it's happening until, has a chance to happen until season 4. It might be over. The Joker season was huge for them, and they fumbled that.
Would I kill you to congratulate me?
Then there's not really much promising in the next 2 seasons, particularly when it comes to the DLC characters in terms of popularity. So it really all comes down to season 4 and how well that does.
I love this part.
Hurry home to your feeble, fleeting safety before I rip it away, Earthlings.
What's up, Gabe? If everything Mill leak comes true, people will be back on the game. If it's executed well, that's the big thing. It has to be well executed. Like if season 4 has actual story missions and really good content, you know, there aren't many major technical problems, and you know, the new character's fun to play, and they execute the planned story. Like, yeah, that's gonna bring in a lot of people potentially. If it gets to that point, maybe. But that's the thing; it has to get there, and interest in the game has already, you know, gone down a lot after they fumbled the Joker season. So they have to get through 2 more seasons. To get to that potentially epic season. That's what I'm concerned about. Like in theory, season 4 sounds like it could be crazy, especially if you know who is playable.
Why are you avoiding my physical challenge?
Like on paper, we thought the Joker season would be really good based on the previews and what we heard, and then we actually got the content and we're like, yo, what is this? That's what I'm saying. It's going to come down to the execution. Like the Joker season 1 looked really good on paper leading up to it, and then we get it and there's no story missions, there's 2 cutscenes, and the only way to get to that is by grinding to the season rank 35 to do the if it's executed that poorly, then it doesn't matter. You see a spin-off game for this? If you mean games that take place in the Arkham universe, yeah, James Gunn said as much. They planned on doing more. But like a spin-off game related to this, no. What other weapon can you use in Joker's second slot? Whatever is available. I never use the second weapon slot in my build. It's literally just there. I literally only, on my builds, I only use the second weapon slot to get 3-piece bonus, to get piece bonuses for the Infamy set. So my build right now is a tier 2 Joker build. So I made sure that my second weapon slot has a tier 2 Scarecrow weapon in it. And that's all I use the second firearm slot. I always have a good primary weapon that I only use. the firearm 2 slot exists purely for the infamy bonus. I don't care what else is there. I didn't even overhaul this to give it 3 perks and 3 augments instead of 2, because I don't use it. They save and last for a reason, and it might work against them. Your Chola is now officially legit. Got half these bozos up in arms. Congrats, I guess. Yeah, there's been so much going on in the Suicide Squad community today. I don't think that's going to make a dent. But at least I'm looking forward to testing out the new patch, which should drop next week, since it's mainly just balancing stuff. Yeah, I think saving. I know in theory they're like, okay, we're leading up to this crazy finale potentially, so it's all going to be big in season 4. Iron Fist, appreciate that. 199, are you going to do builds for the other characters? Not really. I'm mainly going to be playing the Joker. Whenever a new playable character comes out, I'm mainly just going to play that character. But unfortunately, because of, like I said earlier, because of the way they designed this season, there's not really any build diversity. So it's kind of pointless to make builds with other characters, because they're mostly going to be one of a few things. Like, I'm a Captain Boomerang main. So if I was so the build I would use for him if I was going to be farming content is I'd make sure I put on, if I wanted to switch it up at all, I would put on the hole-in-one stack deck. You know, that's my favorite gun for him. And then I got the tier 1 Scarecrow piece in the slot 2. And then actually this literally would be like the build for the most part. Like if I can literally show you right now how I would build Boomer. Hole-in-one stack deck, Scarecrow tier 1 piece, so I can poison enemies on critical hits. Master Polka Dot Man Grenade. I would just fix up the perks. I would just overhaul the perks. So that they look like this. Matter of fact, I already got them on King Shark for the most part. Shield regen, and I just put explosion radius on. I was using the Master Two-Face Persuader. Switch that with the Mad Hatter. Master Steel Force Conduit. Master Two-Face.
Thanks for the old gear, new pal.
Probably put a reverse flash focus on here. Or a Hugo Strange specialization. And either Jinx's Lucky Coin, or I can do a tier 3 Bane piece.
Sharing belongings. A clear sign of
for the tier for the 1 piece bonus. and we're pretty much done. Just gotta change up some of the perks. This will be a Boomerang build for the new season. Just literally just change up a few things, and you have a build. Because it has to be poison. Like it has to be able to apply poison.
Bonza, gear's good as new. Oh, a bit sweaty.
It's a real life struggle to stay under 280 inventory. Yeah, I've managed to get it to a point where I could save around 267. You heard they're nerfing my build? Not at all. They're complete opposite, actually. According to the blog today, they're potentially buffing my build. Including my old one. They're removing craze immunity completely. They're making it so that non-poison does more damage. It was at like 95% damage penalty before the update. After the update, it's only going to be 50% for non-poison. And they're buffing damage over time for both burn and poison at higher mastery levels. So if anything, my build is going to get substantially stronger. Because my non-poison damage is going to do much more. Running some form of craze could be viable. Somewhat viable, not that much. And depending on how big the buff is to poison and burn, like you could potentially be doing like way more damage. So yeah, overall to me, that's definitely a buff. I do hope that the buff to damage over time ends up putting it at like the same level as before the nerf, the original nerf. That would just be funny. Especially with the stuff they're playing for episode 2. With the Two-Face set. Yeah, burn could be crazy again. You just like all the nerfing. Only thing that needs a nerf is that stack deck that everyone uses as a crutch. Here's the thing. Even that is balance. It's a great debuff. But if you actually watch how it works in practice, it's not strong enough to warrant a nerf at all. Because they already inherently balanced it by putting a 50% damage reduction on it. And firearm damage in general isn't that high. Nobody uses any other guns. Yeah, that's not true at all. Especially after the new season. Because you gotta use something else. But yeah, this is a big point that I always bring up. Because game developers make this mistake all the time. And Suicide Squad devs will get to that as well. If players are Which my favorite character from most to least? My favorite character from most to least. I only use Boomerang and Joker. The best thing I can say is that it is always better to buff rather than nerf. What people actually do is they put the stack deck on their bots for the most part, because the bots are otherwise pretty useless. So it's good that you can give them some kind of purpose, which is to apply debuffs. But the issue is when you have a situation where players are only using a certain amount of just one particular weapon, the solution is to buff the other weapons. It's not a crutch. They're literally using what the game has presented to them. Like, why would I use a different weapon on my AI companion? Yeah, Mind Trick, appreciate that sub. Tier 1 for 17 months. That was one of my longest relationships. I appreciate you. Like, legitimately, why would you use something else? It's not a crutch. Crutch doesn't mean what you're using it as. Like, there aren't better options. That's why the solution, if you're balancing a game properly, is to make other weapons better. That's how you're supposed to properly address a situation like this. The solution isn't just to be like, oh, everyone is using this particular gun. Yes, that means I have to make that gun worse. If you take it away, half the players, it wouldn't matter. Like have you been playing the new season? Like, it doesn't matter if your AI companions have the stack deck or not. I'm not even using the stack deck on the build that I'm playing. Most people aren't either. They put it on the AI companions because they're useless otherwise. Like, if I didn't give them stack deck, they'd still suck. I'd still be doing damage. It doesn't matter. The problem is that you're acting like stack deck is like the meta. It's not. It's not a overpowered weapon. All guns in this game are bad. Like that's like, people do most of their damage with perks and grenades. The actual guns in the game aren't good. Like, they don't really do damage. People mostly do their damage from getting boosts from all the different perks and set bonuses and stuff like that, and grenades. They're not using the stack deck as a primary means of taking out enemies. The stack deck is great because it applies a debuff. But as a purely primary weapon, it's not that good, especially in the current season. That's why the solution is just to make other weapons better. That's what you're supposed to do in all these games. If people are only using a specific weapon, it's because there aren't other good options. Like, if there were other good options, people would just use those. Like, it's really common sense. Like, if you test all the different weapons and you determine, oh, 99% of them suck. Like, why? How is that your fault as a player? Like, oh, should I use bad weapons on purpose, or should I use the handful of good weapons? Like, that's like calling players who use burn when the game first out crutchers. Like, yeah, the game was literally designed so that past a certain mastery level, only burn is a viable strategy. That's literally how the game was designed. That's not on the player, that's on the developers to make a more balanced game. So if you want to have better weapons than the stack deck, it's exactly the same. and you know it's the same. that's why you're not arguing the point. Like, all they had to do was just, okay, everyone's using the stack deck. Let's make other legendary weapons better. In fact, they literally asked the community, what legendaries do you think are underpowered? And a bunch of people responded by saying, hey, all these other weapons are underpowered. Like literally an easy example. Let me see if I have it here. Oh, actually, easy example. They buffed the Bane set last season. They made these Bane weapons stronger. And more people started using it as their primary. But an even better example. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find that gun. I think I have it. I think I have it on Harley. Here's the bullet propel grenade. Critical hits spawn live grenade at enemy hit. The grenade does an additional 100% more damage when it explodes. This could only happen every 30 seconds. If they change this perk to every 5 seconds, nobody would use stack deck. Nobody would use it. That's your favorite weapon. You're proving my point. If you give players better options, they'll use those options. The solution is not to take things away. The solution is to add new things and go back and make other things better. If you think too many people are using stack deck, make those other guns stronger so that people want to use something other than stack deck. 15 seconds. Yeah, even cutting that in half. But 5 seconds would make it insane. If it was 5 seconds, it would literally, right now, if you made that 5 seconds, it would be the best weapon in the entire game. Straight up. Hell, if what they did in the blog comes true next week or whatever, they drop it, and they do a buff to damage over time, the Dr. Miru injector would probably be the best gun in the game, or one of the best guns in the game. Because if poison and burn both get a buff, like they were talking about, and if the buff is similar to what it was before those initial nerfs, suddenly this is one of the best guns in the game. Because now poison itself will do a ton of damage, and this gun applies it on hit. And then obviously that would bring back the black mass weapons, so people would use those instead of just like literally just buff other stuff, and people will use it. Make other stuff better, and people will be like, "Oh, that's good. I'll use that too."
To be frank, I didn't expect you to be so.
You give people a large variety of good weapons and gear. That's how you get diversity in your meta. Just looking, if you just create a meta where there's only a handful of viable weapons, and then you take the few viable weapons away, then you're just bad at your job and don't know what you're doing. Balance in these type of games is about giving players variety. There's no point in having a wide variety of weapons and gear if 99% of them suck. Players will play what's good But they're not going to, the average, nobody in their right mind is going to force themselves to use bad weapons just to prove a point that they can. Like, especially if you're farming and trying to do something specific. Like, you don't have time to waste using bad weapons.
Honestly, it's in the name.
You know, Helldivers had this same issue early on that made a lot of players mad, because they had an issue with people using pretty much the same loadout at high levels, because there were literally just no viable options. And they responded, as said, by doing an unnecessary nerf to like one of the few viable weapons, which, you know, pissed a lot of people off, understandably. But then they eventually added more weapons and started buffing more of the older weapons that were left behind. In addition to doing some enemy balancing. Now the Helldivers 2 meta is definitely a lot better and more diverse, because there are more ways to address the different enemies. Like, that's what you want to aim for. The only time you really need to address something being too strong is when it's like noticeably too strong. Like way beyond what was intended. Like a perfect example of that is in Marvel's Avengers. There was a brief moment where Gamma was like the best thing in the entire game, because there was some kind of bug with the way it was tuned. It was not tuned correctly after one of the updates. And so it made it so that no matter what, all you had to do was apply a little bit of Gamma as a status effect, and it would basically one-shot everything in the game. Like, as soon as you spread the Gamma, every enemy, including bosses, would just immediately die. Obviously, you can't have that. That's clearly not intentional. So you get rid of that, and it's perfectly fine, because it's not a nerf. Like, that's clearly not okay, because there's literally no reason to run anything else, and that's clearly not how it's supposed to work. So yeah, you get rid of that. But something like Stack Deck, which is already perfectly fair weapon, just because it's the most popular primary, particularly for AI companions who are otherwise useless, that's silly. Am I using a jetpack? I am not using a jetpack. I thought you were talking about Helldivers for a second. I'm like, I used a jetpack in Helldivers once. Didn't vibe with it too much. Especially the other backpack, especially with all the other backpack options. Only character in this game with a jetpack is Deadshot. And I don't use that in any particular special way. I don't really use Deadshot that much anymore, just in general. I have been a Boomerang since the closed alpha. Don't really like the jetpack, to be honest, in this game. It's too restrictive. We got this big open world. I want to be able to soar around the city on my jetpack. When you go online with other players, the enemy health increase. It's not supposed to be, but all sorts of weird stuff happens when you play online with other players. Can't imagine trying to snipe heads a dead shot with snipers being crazy edges. You definitely gotta use that squad ultimate and move around a lot otherwise.
Oh, and my horoscopes have cut back on the gimmicks.
Guess everyone's got to hit the target sometime.
Oh, that's another rival. Here you go, Reg Dog. Hold that taunt. We definitely need. I'm mad that they didn't even address inventory space in the blog. Like, we need inventory space, bro. At least another 100 for the inventory. This is crazy. They're about to add another new season. Half a season of content. Like, in episode 2, there's going to be more gear coming. Like, I would have to delete everything. I'm gonna have to basically delete almost everything from this season or last season to make room for the gear in episode 2 if they don't add more inventory space. This is nuts. How are we supposed to add the new stuff with this much inventory space? This is insane. All right, it is 7:35. These gotta get ready for the podcast. We will just send a raid to Mr. Soldier Man, who's still playing Suicide Squad with his drops enabled. So if you still need your drops, go get them from Soldier Man. We got the podcast popping off in about 20 minutes. So look out for that. I'm Sadot the Gamer, signing out.